welcome to episode number 8 of AAO Presents Behind the Lens, where I interview a new guest each week that has been behind my lens about their past, present, and future endeavors. My name is Andrew, and I'm an independent videographer and the owner of AAO Media. And this week is no different. We have a great guest coming off a huge first-round win at CLIP MMA this past Friday, progressing his pro record to 2-0 with a winning streak of 5, including amateur bouts. He's fighting out of Murcielago MMA. He's the Turtle Man himself. He's Aaron Ward.
Hey,
how's it going, Aaron?
Thank you for having me, Andrew, dude. I'm excited to be on the show today.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you. So before we get into this past weekend, let's let the listeners know a little bit more about you. Can you tell me how you got into MMA and how long you've been training? I know you have a wrestling background. Can you tell me a bit about your past combat experience?
Yeah, so I've been a lifelong MMA guy. I've been really into it for a long time. It's actually funny. When I was a little kid, we actually built a cage in our backyard, and that was right after the Iceman Chuck Liddell was fighting. Our neighbor, he would have MMA parties, and at that time, it was really still very little known about the sport. So we kind of got hooked onto that, built a cage in the backyard. And I've always been hooked going to local shows as a little kid. So it's kind of crazy now that I'm actually fighting today. So it's been a crazy journey. I know you were asking about how long I've been training too. It's been 4 years actively training. I started training during COVID just after getting done with my college wrestling career. And I knew that I didn't necessarily get the goals that I was looking for of winning a national title. And I couldn't see myself just being done putting up that competitor's hat. So I actually hit up Mondo and started training with him in the basement during COVID because there was no gyms open. And now 4 or 5 years later, I'm still training and I'm a pro fighter. So it's been a pretty cool journey so far for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's pretty crazy. You guys had a cage like that just in your backyard. It's kind of like it was meant to happen anyway.
Yeah, we had wood post up, man. We used old chain fencing, had a door, the whole 9 yards, man. It was cool.
Oh, that's sweet. I know they got somewhere in some state, there's like a backyard fight league that's like
Yep. I think it's
pretty
like
popular.
something like that. Yeah, where they're doing the same thing and they're fighting in the grass and
I don't know how they make that work, but they sure do, and they're really popular on social
yeah,
media
it's starting
actually.
to grow. Yeah, it's starting to grow, that's for sure. I
For
think
sure.
they have a couple carts in Michigan too. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they were in Michigan a little bit too.
Somebody's backyard.
Yep.
All right. So, other than fighting, what are your hobbies like outside of the fight game?
Man, if I'm not training fighting, I've been really big into giving back in the sport of wrestling. Wrestling's given me so much growing up, and it's just something I've used in my everyday life from discipline. So I give back as much as I can. I'm running a lot of clinics now, actually, for the youth, as well as my son. He's 3 years old now, and he just started his first year of wrestling. So I'm actively the coaching with that. We have 45 little junior Falcons, so it's so crazy to think about just 45 little kids getting in there, and it's their first year, So it's all about making it so much fun for them. So that's a lot. That's got a lot of my attention right now as well. It's just if I'm not training and fighting, man, I'm just being a dad. That's and coaching. Those are my two biggest things.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and you're coaching, so you're always kind of involved in that athletic, the whole combat sports thing. And I know how it is. I'm basically doing what I'm doing now, or being a dad. I got 3 boys myself. Other than that, I like to do board sports like skateboarding, snowboarding, stuff like that. Whenever I'm not doing my regular hobby of shooting video and editing video, which I love to do. I'm blessed to be able to do that. So now getting into your main event this past Friday, sorry.
Yep.
You fought Mateo Soto, who was, I believe, your second replacement. But without a doubt, Mateo came ready to fight. Apparently, he came ready to talk a lot too.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the weigh-ins when you guys first stood face to face. I'm not really sure what he said personally, but can you explain to me your immediate reaction?
Yeah.
Is this what you expected? Did it really alter you at all?
No, it honestly kind of threw me off because just before weigh-ins, he came up to me and we were talking and stuff. So he was real cordial in in that sense of things. And then as soon as we got up for face-offs, we did our weigh-in and everything, and he just started talking a lot of smack about what I said on the previous podcast I was on, and he was using quotes and stuff like that, saying that he was gonna knock me out with a head kick. He was just talking a lot of smack to me, and I just thought it was funny. I kept my cool. I stayed professional. I honestly didn't really want to give him any kind of edge, so I didn't say anything until he was done saying what he had to say, and then after that, I just told him to keep that same energy and bring that same thing tomorrow, because I don't do all that talking when we're face to face. I let my hands and my actions speak for me. So that's what I knew what I was bringing to the table. I just don't know if he realized that the energy that he woke up in me, honestly, because I've never had that happen before. So it had me ready to.
Yeah, for sure. He kind of it probably just like kicked in as soon as he got up there. He just kind of had that all in his head from watching it
Yep.
hot or something. But
Yeah, for sure. He had a lot of energy, man, and it was cool because, like I said, that was my first experience of that. So it really had me going, and I
absolutely.
it carried in, and it was cool to end up being the main event in that situation too. So he had me pumped up, and then we were the main event with all that build up. I was like ready. Mm.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I even ran into him after the show and he was kind of like, I wasn't done. I wasn't done. He's like, it was the early stoppage. Um, so how do you feel the fight went for you? Do you think it was stopped early at all? I don't think so. I think I think it was stopped just fine, but
Yeah, I was in control of the whole fight, and honestly, he took a lot of damage when we were on the ground. I could see where he could say that he felt like it was stopped early, and he was saying he was fine when I was hitting him, but still, he took a lot of clean shots at the end of the day. So, and I look at it too. I mean, we both have families to go back home to at the end of the day. So, and the ref is doing his job. He's looking at how many shots he was taking on the chin, on the ear. He took a lot of flush shots in that ground and pound, and I think that was part of just the stoppage as well. Was just all of them adding up in a short span of time because that was all those shots were in maybe 45, 50 seconds.
yeah, for sure. I mean, he was defending, but he was not. They were all unanswered.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Hmm.
So something that can go without mentioning is that you actually headlined this card in the main event, which meant that there was a lot of love in the building for you last Friday.
Yeah,
What was it like main eventing in your second pro fight in an awesome venue at the Soundboard?
man. So it's cool. The Turtle Gang is what like I call my crew of fans that always come out to my fights. It's awesome that they always travel deep. It doesn't matter if it's short notice or how far away the travel is. We always have a really consistent basis. So from that standpoint of things, I always have that, but just to be the main event, let alone in my second pro fight, was an eye-opening experience. And the soundboard was awesome. I haven't fought in a venue where it amplified things like that as well with such a huge crowd. And I mean, I kind of get locked in into a zone, so I don't really notice how many people are really there, but it seemed like during my fight they really enjoyed it as well, and a lot of people got into it, especially once I was just taking it all in, walking around the casino, the amount of people that did stop me and say that they enjoyed my fight and they would love to see me fight again and things like that really showed it too. But I'm kind of locked in and in the zone, so I don't really pay attention to all that stuff as much. But it was a really cool experience, and I can't wait to go back to the soundboard. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's a really nice venue. I know in that back room, there's a lot of pictures of a lot of cool people that have been there and performed there. So moving forward onto the new year, I know we have multiple shows lined up all over the state already from January to March. What's the plan for you? And do you have anything lined up? And when would you like to fight again?
Dude, I plan on being extremely active. We're actually in the works of lining something up right now to be fighting here very soon in the next. So January's coming up. So it might be in January, it might be in February. That's all I can say for right now. But I know
Right
that
on.
we are most definitely in the works of fighting again. I know I didn't take any injuries or have any injuries, and my fight was relatively quick. So it's nice to continue to stay active and to continue to build on the momentum that we're already rolling on right now. So I'll definitely be fighting again here pretty soon in the next month or two. And then hopefully I'm on that March card at the soundboard again as well.
Awesome, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it too. Thanks for talking with me today. That's all I got. I'm looking forward to working with you on our future fights.
Yeah, definitely, man. One last thing, dude. I love the flag in the background. It looks really good, man. The Turtle Man Gang flag.
Oh yeah, man. You got to show it some love.
Yep, for sure, man. I appreciate
Absolutely.
the show too, man. We had a great time, and I can't wait to see all the highlights that you were able to capture from that.
Yeah, man. Well, there may be a video that had already dropped before this pod dropped.
Oh, well, then we'll have to cut that part out then.
Yeah, either way, we're going to show it in here anyway.
Sweet.
Awesome, man. I'll talk to you later.
For sure.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow Aaron on Instagram at turtleman_MMA. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to follow us for more. We'll be back next week with another great guest. Peace.